Well, let's start with some issues of Parliament. And the Speaker of the House, Edward Doe Ajaho, has recalled all members of Parliament for an urgent sitting in the new year. The recall is based on Clause 3 of Article 112 of the 1992 Constitution and Order 38 of the Standing Orders of Parliament. Director of Public Affairs of Parliament, Jones Kuglenu, told the news team that members are most likely to sit for more than a day during the special sitting, but would not disclose what the MPs will be deliberating upon. He also explained that the recall is not out of place because the last sitting was adjourned sine die, without fixing a date. Following the directive, MPs are expected to meet on January 6, 2014 for the special sitting.
Director of Public Affairs of the Ghana Police Service, DSP Cephas Arthur, is urging Ghanaians to ensure their own security as they leave their homes for the various celebration venues to usher into the new year.
When they are going for the watch night or returning from the watch night, they should avoid dark places. They should also avoid desolate places, places that are isolated. Because these are the places that criminals hide and commit crimes. Furthermore, if they can walk in groups, it will help. When they are going out, they should secure their doors, lock them well, put on the lights around the house, and they should also ensure that they don't leave only the infirm, the sick, the aged in the house, and they should keep their children very, very close to them.
DSP Cephas Arthur also entreated parents to give their children some basic security education so they can be on guard when left alone at home.
If they are not going with them, they should ensure that they are secured in their house. They should give them pieces of security advice that they should not get out of the house in their absence. And should anybody come knocking and asking that the doors be opened to them, and such voices are not theirs, the children should not comply. And they should even be kind of baited that, oh, your mother says I should bring you to church, they are not going to come soon. They shouldn't open the door.
The police would also be available at various locations in the country to ensure a crime-free 31st night.
We'll be working. We'll be abroad, all over, at the churches, drinking spots. People will not be going to church. People will be going to the drinking spots to celebrate there. So we'll be all over. I will be with the churchgoers to ensure that we provide security for them. We'll be in their homes because they will desert their homes. So we will also be there in the communities patrolling to ensure that their property are secured and their aged, their infirm, their sick relatives are also secured.
In the case of any emergency, you can contact the police on 18555 for Vodafone or MTN users, and also 0302 773 906 for all networks.
Well, and so those are the security measures needed on the eve of New Year, especially if we have a lot more people trooping into churches for the 31st night. But on the eve of every New Year, we draw up a tall list of things we hope to achieve in the next year. But carrying through the target we set can sometimes be a daunting task, as many quickly forget about their set targets. In the following report, Matilda Pemega has been finding out from the public how we can stay on track with New Year's resolutions.
As the year 2013 draws to a close, many people have started taking stock of activities and programs throughout the year. After the stock taken, some will set new goals they hope to achieve in the coming year. But how realistic will it be for them to achieve these goals? And did they even meet their targets for 2013?
I've been able to achieve a lot. 4 years ago, I had a plan of, being a graduate, a university graduate, of course, by the end of 2013. And I've been able to achieve that. I thank the Almighty Allah for that.
I have this problem of drinking, and I don't often go to church as well. So I have set a target to be able to go to church frequently. I've been able to. I had a few friends, I'm the kind that have a lot of friends in my life. Yeah, and that was one of the major setbacks. It was one of the things that actually drew me, took my time from going to church. And I tried as much as possible to get rid of a lot of them.
This year, I resolved that I have to take my marriage to the altar. And by God's grace, it came to pass.
Been able to achieve one. Yeah. I completed Teachers Training College in 2007, and it was my target that by 2013 I should have a degree certificate, and that I've been able to achieve.
I did, but I couldn't achieve some of the things I set for myself. My education, but I couldn't achieve my target, and I'm hoping that come 2014, I'll be able to do that.
Oh, actually, I've not been able to accomplish 2013 target, so I must work on it to the fullness before setting another target 2014.
So why do we sometimes fall short of these personal targets? Maybe the fewer the resolutions, the better. Because too many changes at once, no matter how well-intentioned, can become burdensome and confusing. So, if you intend to set new targets for 2014, here are some tips you might find helpful. Your list should contain things you really want, and they must reflect your personal values. Limit the list to what you can handle. Be specific, plan ahead, and be realistic. Now, that should make a good start to the new year 2014. Matilda Hamaga for Joy News.
This year has been eventful for the country in general, and as the labour scene became turbulent with the consistent strikes and election petition that dragged on months. Despite these, some ministers tell Joy News they've made some remarkable achievements.
The Minister of Health, Sherry Ayite, indicated those strike actions by doctors and pharmacists affected revenue of health centers in the first quarter. The ministry was able to establish cordial relationship with the groups by addressing their grievances. She said the ministry had been replacing obsolete equipment in hospitals across the country, and the coming year would see more district hospitals equipped and upgraded.
Kolibu, which is a referral hospital, we spent almost $60 million to replace a lot of old equipment. From February to June, we are going to replace almost 84 district hospitals. We are going to provide them with new machines, new equipment, various types. This year, we also, handed over some completed district hospitals to the district assembly, like Takwa, and also recommissioned the work for the 600-bed teaching hospital, which is being constructed at Legon. Currently, they are almost 20%, with the work, and we hope that within 36 months, we will be able to complete this work.
According to her, immunization and outreach programs were intensified to improve maternal and child health. Though the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry had less than 60% of its budget released this year, the Minister Alhaji Inusa Husseini said they chalked moderate successes. He explained about 5,000 illegal small-scale miners were deported while the country was making progress on the maritime dispute between Ghana and Ivory Coast.
We've been able to come out with a roadmap, and hopefully by middle next year, the maritime dispute between Ghana and Ivory Coast on the exact maritime boundary of the two countries will be determined by consensus through negotiations. We were able to implement an effective mechanism for the protection of the Achimota forest. Achimota forest, when converted into an eco-park facility, will prevent, stop, or mitigate any other or any further encroachments on the land. The Achimota Ecotourism Facility contemplates that and has made provision, indeed, for churches who will have a religious enclave within the forest when converted into an ecotourism facility to still commune with God. Yeah. We're not going to sack them. We are not going to regularize their activities. It's not going to be a planned activity.
The minister is hopeful the budgeted 250 million Ghana cedis for 2014 would see the ministry taking robust measures to sanitize the mining and timber sectors, as well as increase the forest cover of the country. The agriculture sector, meanwhile, was said to have recovered this year, recording a marginal growth of 3.4%, up from 1.2% recorded in 2012. The sector minister indicated they were making progress with the agriculture modernization program, which saw an injection of 4.6 million cedis into the sector between January and September 2013.
The investments are in the areas, for example, if we talk about agricultural mechanization, which is the main instrument of modernization, we have imported about 150 horsepower cabrio tractors, which we have distributed throughout the country to enable our farmers increase acreage of cultivation. There were surpluses as far as grains are concerned, except rice. We also have a lot of surpluses with the roots and tubers, that is cassava, plantain, and cocoyam. And we have done modestly well with livestock production, except for the poultry subsector.
According to him, the e-extension service being piloted in the Greater Accra region would be rolled out to cover the entire country once expected results were attained. He also revealed the ministry was working with the presidency to extend retirement of the country's limited veterinary officers.
Well, we turn attention to justice delivery, and although infrastructure is necessary to facilitate success of non-custodial sentences in Ghana, which are currently non-existent, prison authorities believe it is number one solution to decongestion of Ghana's prisons. The Interior Ministry last week announced proposals yet to be forwarded to Parliament, seeking legislative backing for non-custodial sentences. The Director General of the Ghana Prison Service, Matilda Bafui, provides some answers in the next report.
Conditions, maybe come every morning and sweep the gutter for 30 minutes. Come every morning and weed the farm for 1 hour. If you are educated and productive, you can even go and teach. So if you fail to turn up, then definitely you are not somebody who can be given a non-custodial sentence, because a non-custodial sentence means that you should be able to perform that sanction within the community, granted that you have the infrastructure. But when you show by your conduct that you are not that kind of person who can perform that sanction in the community, then it means you are a prison material.
All 43 prisons in Ghana are currently holding 14,442 prisoners, which is 4,567 more than the authorized capacity of 9,875. This statistic, which continues to soar, has worsened conditions in the prisons, leading to easy spread of diseases, the use of the prisons as training grounds for hardened criminals by criminals, and other practices amounting to human rights abuses. The proposed non-custodial sentence, as explained by the Director General of the Ghana Prison Service, will ensure people serve terms in jail only when it is necessary. The infrastructure to check abuse of the system and monitoring those serving such sentences are only two of the crucials which are non-existent. Currently, there are no institutionalized monitoring system even for discharged prisoners. So how do authorities intend to do this?
We are now planning it. There should be a starting point. We have to start it at this time, nurse it, and then make it become better. Because we need the personnel who monitor the people in the community. So either we can give that sort of job to prison officers and policemen, because we are almost doing the same thing.
She says despite congestions in the prisons, the service can only do as much since the justice system continues to put people in their custody.
When the structures are put in place for the supervision of non-custodial sentences, I think the judges should be brought on board because they are the people who will give the sentences, and they have to be convinced that the non-custodial sentences will serve the purpose for which we are introducing it to replace imprisonment. It will help to decongest the prisons. 2, it will make sure that people who are not supposed to be in prison are not in prison, and that they are outside there doing some sort of community work, which also promotes their social reintegration. It will reduce the burden on the government because it costs so much to take care of prisoners. We have to do a lot of public education, otherwise people may think we are becoming too liberal. But we have to look at the benefits, and I think the benefits outweigh the fears that people may have.
Although enormous benefits about non-custodial sentences have been outlined, its failure may come with its own dire consequences. It therefore sounds to reason that the appropriate fundamentals or provisional anti-abuse arrangements are also laid bare. For Joy News, Gifty Ando-Apia.
Some residents of Anthem, a suburb of Cape Coast, are disposing of human waste through open drains in the area. According to the opinion leaders at Anthem, such waste are connected to open drains and human waste disposed of daily.
Residents are angry the situation is impacting negatively on effort at curbing poor sanitation. They are confronted with having to clear human waste anytime they organize cleanup exercises, especially during the stilling of gutters. An opinion leader of the area, Abdullah Sam, said all attempts to put a stop to the practice situation have failed. He hoped the Cape Coast Municipal Assembly would come to their aid and stop the practice. Meanwhile, a 30-member non-partisan Keep Fit Club has been inaugurated at Anthem to support effort at improving sanitation through periodic cleanup exercises. The Metropolitan Chief Executive, Priscilla Ahin, who inaugurated the club, charged the youth in the area to shun social vices and fight to bring development to the community.
Well, so that's the news package we have for you on the AM show. A recap of our top stories for the morning.
Speaker of Parliament recalls Parliament for urgent sitting.
Police urges Ghanaians to observe more security and safety rules as many Christians file into churches tonight to usher in the new year.
And Ghana Prison Service welcomes directive by the Ministry of Interior to non-custodial sentences as part of the efforts to decongest the country's prisons.
Well, so that's the news highlights we have for you for the morning. Please get interactive. We have the social network pages on Facebook, and on Facebook it is Joy News on TV, and we have a short code 1760. Please get interactive.
Up next is sports. Stay on.
We'll be right back.